Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, we're going to take a look at John Darling at skill level 4, 5, and 6. Now, the main difference between skill level 4, 5, and 6 is really just one thing for John Darling. It's the amount of zooms that he's going to clear every single time. But before we get into that, I do want to call out that I do have another video that reviews John Darling at skill level 1, 2, and 3. In that video, I do go over some of the stats and strategy in using John Darling. So if you're interested in seeing that, check out the description below where I link to that video. I'm also going to link it to the top right hand corner. So check that out if you are interested in seeing John Darling at skill level 1, 2, and 3. But for this particular video, I am going to focus on skill level 4, 5, and 6 and really do a deeper dive on the ability itself and the functionality of John Darling at these higher skill levels. Hopefully then you'll find this video helpful in determining if John Darling is one that you typically want to invest in or not. My opinion is that John Darling isn't really that great. Even at skill level 6, he's not the most useful. In terms of getting coins, that is. But if you are just looking for a very simple zoom that consistently gets you the same amount of coins without having to try very hard, John Darling is good for that. And really the reason for that is John Darling, you are guaranteed the same amount of clears to a certain degree, I would say, during the ability. So sometimes you have to prep the setup to activate the ability, but for John Darling, it doesn't matter. You could just quickly activate the ability as soon as it's fully charged, and you don't really need to set that up. So that's one good thing I like about John Darling. One downside to John Darling, though, is that the games are kind of long. In order for you to finish one whole game, it runs for a pretty long time. It takes about like 2 minutes or so just to play one full game, and that's pretty long for a zoom that doesn't earn you a whole lot of coins. So for that reason, the duration isn't that great. And I think that the main reason for that is really because the animation for John Darling takes a really long time to play out. As you can see here, this is the animation for John Darling, and it takes about like 7 seconds to fully play through. What happens is he has his little umbrella, and then he marches across the screen from left to right, and then a bunch of his siblings follow him, and every single time that there is a march that follows forward, a little bit more zoom gets cleared. So the more you play John Darling, you just kind of get tired of the animation. But like the first time you see it, it's kind of cool. But after a while, it becomes kind of repetitive. But at the end of the day, though, the ability is pretty consistent. So for that reason, I do like it. So let's get into that a little bit. I do want to activate these abilities all at the same time, so we could see what the differences are between skill level 4, 5, and 6. And like I mentioned, the animation does take a little bit long time to run through. This is actually in full speed. So it took about 7 seconds to fully play out, but here it is slowed down. John Darling will point his umbrella and then he'll march across the screen, and every single row that gets show or cleared, a sibling will show up. So this is the size of the clear radius, and it's kind of hard to tell, but if you skip a little bit forward, you'll see the chain. So for skill level 4, you get a chain of 26. Skill level 5, you get a chain of 30, and then at skill level 6, you get a chain of 34. So these are pretty standard. However, there is one thing that will play a factor into it, and I'm going to show it to you right here, is if you have a big bubble or a big zoom on the screen, that will change things. Skill level 4, there's a genie. Skill level 5, there is a Olaf, and then skill level 6, there is a Rex. So skill level 4, you will have 30. Skill level 5, you'll have 34, and skill level 6, you have 38. So essentially, if you have a big zoom on the screen, you use +4. And for the heck of it, I did try a little bit something fun, and I tried to purposely get one more for skill level 6. So as you see here, I do have 2 big zooms for skill level 6, and instead of 38, I was able to get 42. So that's pretty interesting. So the more big zooms you have, the more change you're going to get, essentially more coins. So speaking of coins, I am going to fast forward to the very end here and show you the coins that I got for these demos. So for skill level 4, I got 2,069. Skill level 5, I got 2,196. And then finally, for skill level 6, I got 2,446. So not too great, but also not too bad. But there are definitely a lot of better zooms out there than John Darling. So I definitely don't recommend using your skill tickets to maximize John Darling. So hopefully this video has been helpful for you. If you found this video helpful or entertaining and you would like to support this channel, don't forget to scroll down and hit the subscribe button. And as always, thank you so much for watching.